But one of the things that Rabbi Glick was excited about was to be able to send the message of diversity, not only in being here with Celebration, but the many different people that he encounters and he interacts with. We have one right here today. His name is Raphael. Raphael, would you do me a favor and greet the world? Tell them your name, who you are, and then we're going to get into a little bit about why Rabbi Glick wanted you to share.
My pleasure, Keith.
Nice and loud in that microphone. Tell them.
My pleasure, Keith. Welcome to United Jerusalem from UnitedJerusalem.com, which is the home of the United Jerusalem Freedom Alliance. And we, like Rabbi Glick, we stand for freedom versus tyranny and tolerance versus intolerance. My friend Yehudah Glick is a humanist. He is a civil rights activist. He is a man who respects all faiths. Those that attempted to take his life are those that do not respect all faiths. And Rabbi Glick is a man of integrity. He is an intellectual. He is a man of faith. And he is a microcosm of the nation of Israel. For he survives as we did throughout our long history. We have survived through the worst of situations.
Wow, that sounds good. So tell me, you've known Rabbi Glick for how long?
I met Rabbi Glick first many moons ago. He's, as you well know, he's a tour guide, and he's a man that takes people up to the Temple Mount, and he shows his solidarity with the children of Israel. He brings people up there, and he doesn't even charge. He wants people to show their presence on the Temple Mount, because I know, to the rabbi, the good rabbi, what the Temple Mount is the center of the world, essentially. And he realizes that Jerusalem in particular is the ideological, civilizational, and spiritual front lines of the free world. And he wants people to understand that it's about tolerance, and he's a man. He's just a tzaddik, a righteous man of tolerance, and that's what he represents to us. And he deserves all the benefits that we can give him.
Well, I tell you what, folks, there are people like Raphael and so many people here at this event that have different perspectives. They come from different places, but right now we're unified, and we're unified in celebrating the fact that he's still here. After last year, just tell me this, when you heard about what happened last year with that assassination attempt, what happened to you? How did it affect you personally?
Well, it was a bit of a shock, I have to tell you, because I know him. He goes up and he interfaces with the Arabs on Temple Mount. He's just the nicest, gentle. He's a gentleman. He respects everybody, And he would be the last person. What's happened today is the Western world does not recognize Israel's right to her sovereignty over her holiest place. This is empowering and emboldening the global Islamic supremacist movement today. They can never claim to dominate the Judeo-Christian free world without taking the Jewish and Christian holiest places. This is where they're stopped. He realizes that, and he wants the world to come on board and stand with Israel.
So for you, last year, you heard about that. It was shocking for you. But, how did it personally affect you? Was there anything about it that just if you go back to that year ago, when you heard that, where were you when you heard that information? What was the kind of thing that...
I got it right off the internet. When I get up early and I'm online, and I saw what happened. And
what part of the world were you in when you
I was here in Jerusalem. I live here in Jerusalem. Okay. I live right in the heart.
Okay.
And it hit me in the heart, because I know that we're working together on. In a sense, I saw myself as if I was personally. I felt like I was attacked.
That is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, it felt like if it wasn't him, it would be me. It's all of us. Like I said, he's a microcosm of the nation.
Raphael, I really appreciate you saying that, folks, and that really is the thing I think that a lot of us that are here right now tonight that are experiencing is when we heard what happened, it was as if it could have been any of us. And like I say, it wasn't us, it was Rabbi Glick. And so we're here to celebrate not only that he survived, but that he's actually thriving. There's more that's happening right now, as he'll tell you later when he comes back. So hang in here with us. he's going to come back here in a little bit and talk about the specifics of it. But people like you and me and people from different backgrounds, it affected all of us. And I think Israel knew that situation there, that we could not allow that sort of thing to go unchecked. And there are changes that are taking place, and I think they're good changes. So,
well, they talk about that. Israel was accused of wanting to change the status quo, quote unquote, on Temple Mount, and nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, those that want to change the status quo is the Palestinian Authority and their Islamic supremacist movement compadres. They want to make it an armed camp. They bring bullets. They bring up bombs and rocks. They want to make it an armed camp. They don't want Jews or Christians ascending. They're the ones. Everything they accuse us of, they do. They accuse us of wanting to destroy the Al-Aqsa. The other day, they burned down Yosef's tomb. It's beyond the absurd.
Yeah, there's a lot that's going on. Being here and hearing both sides of what's going on, it really is confusing sometimes until you get a chance to hear the truth.
Well,
when you hear the truth and you hear what Israel has done and how they have been protecting life and not putting life at risk by going and stopping those sort of attempts that were taking place on Al-Aqsa. Again, you think about Yehudah and what I've been with him when he's gone to the Temple Mount. Talk about peaceful. Talk about purposeful. Talk about a man who's trying to deal with the bigger perspective of what that place is. He's done that. So folks like you, Raphael, that are here, he's excited that you're here, others that are here, and especially you folks that are here from around the world, we need you to continue to stay connected. TempleMountHeritageFoundation.com, Breaking Israel News, who's the sponsor here. Folks like you and your movement, there are just so many people, and you now are a part of what's happening.
I would like to make one final point. Okay. Look, the perspective on what Israel is subject to on a day in and day out basis is very simple. It's not an Arab-Israeli conflict. It is not an Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Israel, since her rebirth in 1948, is subject to ongoing, never-ending jihadist Islamic warfare aimed at our destruction. We are still fighting the war of independence today. There is no Gaza wars or Lebanon wars. These are battles in the same war. That's the way I see it. That's the way it needs to be framed. And we exist in a state of war. We do not have a recognized capital. We don't have recognized borders. And we are still fighting for our independence. Help us win our independence once and for all. And I tell that to all the leaders of the free world today, that you need to stand with us. You'll never defeat. We defeated communism because we taught the world the bankruptcy of communism. The Berlin Wall fell because not one bullet was fired. We need to do the same and teach the world the bankruptcy of Islamism, which is the latest and the greatest from communism to fascism, and now we're in the Islamism.
Here's what we need Raphael to do. We have to get him to take all that energy, go downstairs and do some dancing, my friend.
Will do.
Folks, we're going to be back in just a little bit. We appreciate you hanging here with us. We got so many people from